through and know that it's going to go like that. This one looks like it needs to come down a little bit. It's a little high. These are nice on the arc here, but this one's up. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little too high, so I'm going to bring that one down. That's that one right there. Because if it starts moving too laterally instead of following the arc, it's going to feel like it's too light. It's really got to follow through that path of action that's been started already, that's been established. That's a little bit better. Let's fix it later. So it comes up through here and out. Maybe even a little bit lower. Something like that. Okay, now that I've got the body pretty much where I want it, I'm going to work on this bowling ball. Now remember, everything's pivoting from this point up here. Watch the length of the arms, make sure they don't get too long. Check the spacing. That's there, that's there, that's there. So the next one will probably be about here. Yeah, that's good. Right about there. See, he's really bringing it through. Need some more descriptive drawings in here. Each drawing is actually an extreme. There are no in-betweens in life. So each drawing does describe something, or it should, theoretically. You should never just throw drawings in just to fill up space, because then it'll start looking stiff, like it's just straight in between. Anybody who's done assistant work knows that if you just throw it straight in between, it just kind of stops everything from looking natural and just kind of, it's not really animated anymore. Follow the arc here, up to there. Nice and loose, plenty of lines here to help me out. Okay, a little bit more. Still too big of a gap. I want to throw some in there. The faster I flip the paper, the better I can see the movement. Follow this arc up here. Notice I'm not letting that head go too much further than where that foot is. If I drop a plumb line, to keep him in balance, I want to keep him over that foot. If he goes too far over here, it's going to feel like he's going to fall. I might want to throw him more in just for good measure. Just to slow into this, because it's the final pose. It's going to settle into this a little bit. Nice.
Thank you.
Okay, there. Take off the pegs. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but we'll see.
Yeah.
That good?
Yep,
Yeah.
right there.
Yep.
Right there? Boom. Back and boom.
Very nice.
See, when you don't put any drawing in it, you're just scribbling, you get pure movement. That's what you want. Look at how nice and it flows, much nicer than if I was to draw the face in there and everything. Now now that I have this foundation, which is already figured out, that's a little fast for a bowling ball, but you just throw in more in between so it's slower and heavier. Because it's kind of like a volleyball he's throwing here, a little heavier than that. Boom.
That looks great on the monitor.
Does it?
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm getting on tape so I can see it later. And you see, even without a pencil test, you can see by flipping it pretty much if it's working. You really don't need a pencil test machine. I mean, I animated all that stuff for Chuck Jones just like this. I was like, yeah, looks like it's working to me. I just throw in Throw in the in-betweens or just start tightening it up. Now, let's say I shoot this on 2s and it's perfect, it's fine, it's exactly the way I was hoping it would be. Now, I go to tie it down. Do you want me to show you that or no?
Yeah.
Like tie down a pose, okay. All right.
As far as putting it on model or?
Just making it more finished.
Oh.
Like this is pretty, this is first pass, so it's really rough and really scribbly. It's just movement. Now, how I would tie this down is just throw a clean sheet over. My old boss used to like to clean up or tie down his, or finish up his, or tighten up his animation roughs like this by going directly on this drawing, this piece of paper with a black pencil. And the reason why he would do that is because he wants all the energy that's in that drawing. There's a lot of flow going on there that you saw, and you saw how it flipped. So to get as much of that energy in there as possible is definitely desirable. Because that's what, I was thinking, imagining what's going to happen. I want to get that. Sometimes if I put another sheet of paper over it, I lose a little bit of that life. It's almost inevitable, and it's definite really. It's got to lose some life. Unless I can plus it from here, which is, you've got to be really good to do that. A lot of people don't want to draw on this drawing because if they mess it up, it's gone forever. So it's a good idea to put another sheet of paper on. That's what I do. That way, it's also good because when you do turn in your finished, tied down, rough animation drawing, you've still got your animation for yourself. And you can always go over that again. And you haven't lost your roughs per se. Okay, so basically I'm just gonna go right over what's there, try to retain that energy. Some things may grow a little bit, they may shrink a little bit. Try to capture what's there as much as I can. Nice and loose. That's pretty much it. So I basically got the same thing. Now I can go over this as if I were drawing on that. Now I can mess with this and futz with this all I want and not worry about destroying my original feeling that I was going for. So let's see. That just makes something. I don't know what he's going to be. The direction of the eye. Put a little structure in there instead of just a ball. Trying to go over it, put something in there. Try to keep things simple at first, like a mitt or a mitten for the hand. Try to keep the flow of that gesture going. I want to push the chest out a little bit more just to make the pose a little stronger. Remember, it's still in colored pencil, so it's not a finished, definite statement yet. I can still go over it. Add some drag on the clothes if I want. In folds, cuffs. Change the fingers. This is where I start getting into that, drawing a circle here or there if I need to, just to kind of feel the structure. Not when I'm first animating. Okay, just flush it out, and now I'm going to go over with the black pencil and try to get even more tight down with it. This is the point where you can put all the doodads, buttons, and whatever else has to be on there. To put it on model or whatnot. And it goes pretty quick, as you can see. It doesn't take forever. It's just a lot of times, believe it or not, you'll see something like this where you say that arm feels weird. It's kind of it feels like noodly or something. But leave it there. Don't try to make it a nice anatomical drawing necessarily, because it's the movement that's really communicating. It's not, the audience doesn't look at a single image and go, oh, they're not viewing it that way. They're viewing them all running past really fast. So it's all the whole communication of the whole group of drawings. So don't worry too much if it looks a little odd. That might be just the right thing to describe the movement that you need. Because if you start changing, you'll find that you lost something, and that you should have left that weird little quirky pose there. Pockets on there, whatever. So from that to that. And now, this could be called a second pass. When you go through and get all the extremes, watch the volumes and make sure you put it all on make a character out of those gestures. That would be called a second pass. Then you can throw a third sheet of paper over that and do a third pass and make this even more tight, more structured, more cohesive. If something bothers you, you can fix up even more. You can keep going and going until it's totally clean, and it's done. It's ready to be colored. So, I mean, that's it. It's that simple. It's that quick. So, I hope that helps. So now that you've seen it, hopefully it answered some questions. Like, how do I put that drawing there and this drawing there? What am I thinking about when I'm trying to tie it down?
You ever flip a drawing just looking at it in the mirror?
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes if you flip it in the mirror, you can see that whole thing.
I have to give it back.
That's okay. Sometimes I'll flip it like looking in a mirror, and you might see something that you're missing
Okay.
from the regular view. But that's it. That's the end of the demo. I'm sorry it took up the whole class time.
No, it's great.
I hope it helps. Okay.
It's good to see it because there's so many things that hopefully I was picking up that just